In the last episode, I discussed different strategies for adaptation of heritage sites to climate change impact. In this episode, I will describe how local communities can be engaged in conservation of heritage with the focus of adapting to climate change impact. There are lots of resources and toolkits useful for community involvement. I will describe 4 toolkits and 2 examples of places where community involvement initiatives have been implemented. The toolkits I will discuss in this episode have been applied in different countries and across continents. The link to the toolkits and case studies are in the description below. CCA Toolkit, developed by United States Global Change Research Program, involves creating a comprehensive resource that empowers local communities to understand, plan for, and implement strategies to adapt to the impact of climate change. The toolkit also helps managers to assess social and ecological vulnerability to climate change and other stressors. It focuses on simple and easy-to-use approaches to engage communities in assessing and responding to climate change impact. This toolkit offers a 5-step process to prepare for the impact the current and future climate could have on your community, organization, or services you provide. It was developed by UKCIP, structured to guide you through each stage of developing a strategy and action plan for adaptation. Each stage outlines what you can do, what information you need to gather, some guiding questions, and how to record the information. CBAA has been applied in many countries across Africa. For example, Sudan, Tanzania, Uganda, Zambia, South Africa, Kenya, and Malawi. Between year 2008 and 2011, the toolkit was applied for climate adaptation and knowledge generation, working with local communities, community-based organizations, NGOs, national meteorological services, researchers, and national and international policy makers. CVI is one of the climate vulnerability toolkits that are heritage focused. It was developed at James Cook University as a rapid assessment tool to systematically assess climate change vulnerability of heritage. The toolkit is increasingly applied in many countries across Africa to North America as a transparent and repeatable way to assess climate vulnerability of heritage. The 2 case studies discussed in this episode illustrate how new knowledge and understanding were created about the connection between climate change and community. Effective communication engagement is an important element of creating transformational change. This case study explains how the organizing group used a mini art festival in Middlefield, Aberdeen, to explore the contribution that artists and other cultural practitioners can make to adaptation engagement and the benefit this can bring to local decision making. Monuments and sites in Nigeria have been negatively impacted by climate change at various degrees. CVI was then applied in Suko Cultural Landscape, one of the World Heritage Sites in Nigeria. The assessment finds that the World Heritage Site is highly vulnerable to drought, increasing temperature, and intense storm. These toolkits and case studies are just few of such available out there, but several research identified the difficulties in finding appropriate tool to use. However, the purpose of this episode is not to tell you this is the tool to use, but to encourage and support you. As individual or community or organization that learning path to developing a fit-for-purpose climate guideline that is peculiar to your context. If you need further support in doing this, send email to the email address in the description below to receive support. In the next episode, I'll be rounding up this series with a call to action for all individuals, communities, and organizations.